Kelly.
But when somebody asks you to come to this meeting so we can see about buying up the block, I don't want to do that because you know it.
Exactly.
But when those people come to you, ask them this. Say, okay, great. We should vote for Kamala. Why? Tell me one thing, just one. One good thing Kamala has done that would make me change my mind. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, you're going to hear crickets and pin drops and all that stuff because they're not going to know. They're just going along with the talking points, and that's by design.
The Democrats are very famous for already picking our leaders. Like I said, Hillary was told when she was losing to Barack, you get on his thing, we'll let you be Secretary of State, pad your thing, and we're going to be behind you 100%. And sure enough, she was the nominee, had 532 delegates, super delegates, before she even had an opponent.
Well, that backfired, didn't it?
Sure
all
did.
That cheating and stuff.
Sure did.
But yeah, I mean, just ask him. What is Kamala done to deserve your vote?
Your vote.
You know, and like I said, there's a lot of propaganda always running around. You know, oh, she's this and she's that. And they said that she can be the first. She can't be the first president, female black president for candidate for presidency because that was Shirley Chisholm. Right. But they labeled it something. I don't know.
Since Shirley Chisholm.
I think because she was, hell, it was something weird. Something they had to like really reach and dig for to give validity to her being the first black somebody. Mm-hmm. So anyway, those talking points are designed for us to go along with. You know why? My mom used to hate when I say this, God rest her soul, but she used to hate when I say, if you want to hide something from a black person, you put it in a book.
Put it in a book.
Oh my, because she was a writer. And she, published several books. And so she said, that's not true. So I'm not saying all of us, Ma. But a lot of us, we just go along with it. We just believe it because somebody told us.
It's like being a bandwagon fan. You just go with the, remember when everybody was a Laker fan and, everything goes, and then now everybody's a Golden State fan, then everybody was a Bulls fan.
And how about those Rams?
Right, now everybody's a Ram fan now. That's just our society. Right. We want to be winners.
Right.
But I'm telling you, if you vote for Kamala, you're going to be a loser.
You might as well vote for Trump, honestly. Yeah, right. Because Kamala goes where the money is. She is, she's corporate. For lack of better words, she's where the money tells her what to do.
Pretty much. I mean, she's already been anointed. They've already anointed her.
And who's to say she didn't tell these police organizations, look, let's just play the game. Let's get me in there, and then
I'll take care of the rest.
Wham! All them Negroes gonna be on the plantation.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, it's like when I get people. I mean, I love Obama just like anybody else, but when I tell people, please tell me something that Obama did for black people specifically, and it's not the health care. Because that was for everybody. Specifically, what did he do for black people? Nothing. Right. We're always a non-factor.
Well, because we don't make it an issue.
And we don't hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm. Right. And Dwight says, you're right, Southside Chicago lost their black-owned banks from the 1940s. Yep. I mean, there's not a lot of black banks around. There's a handful of them, really. Right. Compared to what it used to be.
Talk to Aunt Maxine, who was censured by the Congress for her husband and their banking situation.
Maxine.
Sorry.
Okay. And Charles said the DNC rigged the primaries in 2016 for Hillary. The same superdelegate system is still in place.
It's still in place.
Especially with closed primaries and purging voters off who may vote for anyone. Let's see. Who may vote for anyone for a progressive. Progressive. So Kamala, with no substance or policies, has a chance. I think she will fall flat on her face as she continues to expose herself as another neoliberal.
I don't think she's a neoliberal.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think she's a neoconservative.
Oh yeah, her. Even when she was running for attorney general, he was more, and her opponent, who was a Republican, was more to the left than she was.
Right.
How does that happen? He's probably like, wait. I'm the Republican here. Right. You did a bait and switch on me. Yes. Right. And here we go. Al Jack's joke of the day. How do you turn back duck into R&B singer? Put it in the microwave and it's Bill Withers. You mean a black duck? Your ass is stupid. And let's see. Hey, Daryl, what's happening? He says, speak. The White says Kamala is exotic. You know what? I'm so glad you brought that point up. Says Kamala is exotic, black, Asian, in California. White man with Cory Booker will be terrific. Well, that's the other thing I asked my friend. Not Donovan, my friend, but my other friend. why are we voting for Kamala? I said, tell me the truth. I said, it's because she is exotic. She's, what people would say is beautiful. And, she's got the nice flowing hair. I mean, is it more of a cosmetic thing? Because I think a lot of people voted for Barack because he was good looking.
I mean, the brother's smooth. The brother was smooth.
So are we casting a vote for Kamala because it's a cosmetic thing? Or is it because of her policies? She says, it's probably because it's cosmetics. So you're being honest, but you need to change that.
Yeah.
And then Al says Sheila Jackson Lee, along with her outdated Princess Leia hairdo, is getting out of office. Yeah.
Yeah, she
got caught up with the Me Too stuff.
The Me Too,
Not her personally, but it was said that she fired a staff member
for reporting sexual harassment
through one of her, longtime staff members. So, not that that's funny, but it's like
the chickens are coming.
Yeah, when the Me Too is hot and rolling off the stove with men, but now it's starting to come back on some of these women. And yes, she's had to resign and step down
from committees, certain committees,
until they find out the truth. Which how do you do that? It's like if you fired the lady because she reported sexual abuse. I mean, you're a douchebag too, Sheila. If you did that, And the White says, for the people, listen. It said, for the people, quote unquote, listen. No one is going to do a thing for just black people. He said that is the state attorney general. Well, I mean, she used to be an attorney general for California, and she did everything the opposite for black people. So,
I mean, we had our prisons busting at the seams to where even the private prisons were busting at the seams.
I mean, I know people personally who were wrapped up into the prison system over nonsense. I'm not saying you steal something, you should get sentenced accordingly, but life? 25 to life?
Or you got the video camera that actually shows the cop planting stuff on you, and she said, so what?
Right. I mean, I know a dude who was in a car with somebody who had a gun unregistered, and he went back to jail on a third strike. Because he's just sitting in the car. Like, how do I know this dude? Like, I'm telling you, I didn't know the guy had a gun. It doesn't matter. You're a felon. And, I'm sure you try on parole or something. And so he went back to jail for 25 life. Now, they have let a lot of those people out. But let's say they didn't change the law. I'd be sitting in prison for the rest of my life because somebody else had a gun in their car? Okay. Let's see. And then Dwight says she locked up the gangbangers and the crack traffickers. I'm laughing because let's say she did that, but how does your what am I saying? The incarceration rate, I think that's what it is, going from 52% to 74% in 3 years under your administration?
Exactly.
What's really going on? I mean, okay, gangbangers and crack traffickers are doing bad stuff, which it sounds like they are. Yeah, they should pay for what they're doing, but how do you let a dude off who affected 80,000 homeowners and illegally foreclosed on them? How do you let him go?
Yeah, how do you make it right for those people?
Yeah, is that not a crime to do that to people? So I get it. The banker and the gangbangers need to go hand in hand to prison. Everybody needs to go if that's what they're due.
And just think of all you people out there that suffered during the Wall Street crisis. Nobody was held accountable except low-level people.
Right. I mean, and Dwight, do you think that is fair that people who owed like 27 cents or whatever it is on their mortgage should have their house foreclosed
taken from them?
Is that not a real crime to do to people? I mean, I'm just asking. And then Al says, with Obamacare, my elbow was bothering me. I asked the doctor if it was my funny bone. He didn't think it was humorous. Because that's a humorous bone. And the wife says 3 times and out of society, just bad. Well, and he said, have you heard about black girls hike? No, I have not. But strike me out for the 3rd time. If I am raping and, a sexual abuser, which is what the crime was written for in the first place. If I'm not mistaken, Polly Klaas, who was a girl that was missing, went missing up north in the area where Kamala was from, before her time, obviously. She came up missing and was ultimately found raped and murdered. I think she was 14 years old by a man who was a repeat sex offender, and they kept letting him out. And so her father, along with her grandfather, imposed the 3 strikes law.
Yes.
In saying that 3 strikes and you're out. Because had the his name was Rich or somebody, had hit their daughter's killer been held to a standard like the 3 strikes law, he wouldn't have been out to kill her. And so they even said that's not what this law was intended for.
To be, right.
This law wasn't intended to send people to prison for life for stealing pizza.
Hey, I'm tough on crime.
I mean, but damn, you ain't got to be that tough.
Yeah, I'm tough on crime.
Soften up.
I'm locking their black asses
pizza.
up.
I mean, like, I keep bringing up pizza, you guys, but I'm dead serious. There's people who went to prison for stealing pizza.
In South Carolina, remember that story, that kid that stole the ice cream cone? They were going to lock his ass up.
Diapers, that kind of stuff. I'm going to prison for the rest of my life for that kind of stuff.
Right, survival item. It's different.
Right.
It's different if you're stealing a car and some HD TV. That's unnecessary. I'm talking about when you talk about stuff.
Even that ain't warranted of life.
Yeah, it's not worth of life.
Right. And so Al says Kamala should tell the black community that success is not continuum. Complacency is the adversary, and contentment is the enemy. Yeah, all of that. And Charles says that is why I say whoever does the most for labor, the working class, is who we support, and we are empowered, more organized, and build coalitions who will use their economic and political clout. Political clout to pass legislation that specifically helps our communities and economically and socially. And Dwight says Al Jackson is great. Laws are horrible, and black professionals are not helping blacks. Judges, elected officials, public defenders, and justice is for those who can pay for it. Convict leasing, yes. I mean, for those who don't know what convict leasing is, I mean. That's something that happened right after slavery, when slavery was abolished, kind of, sort of, besides the provision you said.
The Jim Crow laws.
Except for during the commission of a crime or whatever. The convict leasing program was that if I deemed you to be looking at a white woman, or you were hanging out on the sidewalk too long, vagrancy laws and all those things, hey, I'll lock you up. Well, also, if you were a sharecropper and you couldn't pay that exorbitant amount of money I put on you, you can be locked up.
Or, like the movie Sounder. The guy's out there, he's a sharecropper trying to feed his family. He's on somebody's property, kills the rooster, wherever it was. He's going to jail.
But under the convict leasing program, is so when you went to prison, businesses and corporations could rent humans out. Black people.
At a discount.
Mostly black people. It wasn't all just black people. It was mostly black people at a deep discount. And they said sometimes the horrors that they experienced during the convict leasing program was worse than slavery. They said the life expectancy of those men in the, it was women too, but mostly men, in the convict leasing program was about 30, maybe 40 years old because they were worked to death.
Right.
Starved. Just you name it. The worst things happened to these people in the convict leasing program. And so, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we have now. Maybe they're not getting, because these people will get outside of the prison and go work for the railroads and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. And they have companies like AT&T and
they were all
IBM.
complicit.
They're all hiring this labor.
All complicit.
And so, are those people writing checks for Kamala?
You might want to look up.
They might be. And so, good point. And let's see. And Al says, on a lighter note, did you know that the grocery stores will be selling Kit Kat ice cream drumsticks? No, I didn't know that. Donovan's like, I'm glad I didn't know that.
No, I like Kit Kats and everything, but what I'm saying is they're just the health thing, just to kill the people off and keep us in bad health.
People don't care. It's
sad.
I saw a study come out about some fried chicken that was killing people. Like, did we need a study to tell us that?
I'm glad you got. I want to just. I just want to make a big announcement here in Riverside. Our Winco Deli is now back open. The best chicken in the world is now available, and you could return to your regular scheduled programming. It's important because that screwed my life up. I'm serious. I have chicken every Tuesday.
Thank you. After I said chicken was killing people. And Dwight says CBL Jr. is right. Okay. And then Daryl, he says the Democrats do nothing for blacks but expect us to continue to support them. Why is that? Because we do.
If you look at our video, if you go to the YouTube channel, when I put this up, or even though our last video, I put a caption up that says we keep voting Democrat, and yet we're still poor. Think about it.
Yeah, we keep doing it. So that's why they're like, hey. And speaking of which, like Kamala, I'm sure it'll come a time where she talks about that bone she threw us. Hey, guys, I'm making anti-lynching laws happen.
Speaking of Kamala, could you kind of tell us, how did she get her start?
I'm not going to do that.
No. She got her start with Willie Brown. We're not talking about the extramarital affairs and all that stuff that she's involved in. But what I'm saying is recently, who she dated, it's a fact, she dated Willie Brown. Mayor Willie Brown out here. And he was a very corrupted, he ran the Democratic Party from the 1970s.
Willie Brown was a pimp.
Yes.
Like almost literally a pimp.
Yes, he controlled the politics here in California, the Democratic Party. But he's recently come out with articles, because, that's going to come out in her background. So he's trying to, bring that narrative and say, yeah, I dated her and, whatever. So my question is this. This man is 30 years older than her. She wasn't a minor, so it's no big deal. To me, it's no big deal. Like I said, he's a G as far as I'm concerned because we met him. But you might want to think about that. Opportunity-wise, what depths will this woman go to ascend power?
That is a good question. I mean, but the other question I have, too, not that I'm excusing it, I mean, is it odd for women to use their feminine wiles to get what they need?
No, not really.
Right. So, I mean, I don't think that's odd. But to your other point, you combine that with some of the other things that I just listed. It would be concerning to me. Like, is there not anything you won't do? Right.
And then I have I always look at a candidate. Okay, she's this lady. She's exotic, whatever. She's married to a white man. Not saying every white person's a bad person, but that tells you a lot too. Like, it makes me hesitant to support.
Well, a lot, and because I don't think we should get into identity politics as much. Mm-hmm. It is important, but a lot of people have made issue in that she doesn't have the black experience like we have the black experience.
Right, exactly.
Because her dad is Jamaican, like from Jamaica. Her mom is Indian. Mm-hmm. She was raised in Canada. Wasn't raised with her black father. I guess he left when she was 6, and so. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are saying, well, she doesn't know being black like we know being black.
And her value system of black is totally different.
Which is probably why it was no biggie for her to harm black people. Maybe she just thought it was normal to harm black people legally.
Well, you're a prosecutor and your job is to arrest and incarcerate minorities. I just think that, to me, that's a red flag.
Oh, absolutely. And let's see. And Al says, my nephew, my daddy has Jordan shoes. AJ, so what? My dad has an Adam's apple. Huh? What the heck is wrong with you? Corny. And Dwight says, Sounder was great. Sophia in The Color Purple played by R. Oprah.
Yeah.
Oprah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Sounder was a good movie. I watch those movies. I don't like watching them as much now because they make me incredibly sad.
Yeah, I get really sad watching them. But they're classic.
Yeah, they're classic. Yeah. And that was people's reality. Hell, it's some people's reality. I saw a picture the other day of a lady sitting on somewhere in Georgia. It's a black and white photo. She's sitting on a porch, a wooden porch, and it said that her windows were covered with they call it the funny papers.
Yeah, it's real like fly paper.
Yeah, so like newspaper covered with newspaper, and they said, "Would you believe that this photo was taken in 1983?"
Wait, you want to see? You want to hear something, Steph? My grandfather still lives in the shack that my mom was raised in. And things, I mean, you don't have to go to 1983. I can take you down there right now.
Yeah. All right. But the point is, some people are still, I know it's
he upgraded it. Don't get me wrong, people. I'm just kind of.
That photo looked like it was in like 1889, but it's the point of the photo is that people are still living like that.
Yeah. If you go down to the South, I mean, like I said, no shade to my grandfather, but he's still living in the childhood home my mom was raised in.
Al says, hey, Donovan, Dee told me to stop imitating a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down. Dwight says, who cares? Fried chicken is great.
That's right. The best. For $3.48, you can get 4 pieces, fried or baked.
He said, I wish that I could eat every day, but it's so carcinogenic. You hear that?
Yes, I hear it.
It's cancerous. It will kill you.
Okay. I'm working on it.
Do we need a study to tell us that fried chicken is going to kill you?
What about the baked chicken?
It's better.
Okay, but it can still kill you.
You're asking a vegan, so.
Okay, it can still kill you.
Listen, I like the taste of chicken too, but even if I was eating meat, I would not be eating no fried chicken. every day, or even I would probably have it maybe once a week or every other week.
Okay.
But
I have it once a week. That's all I have. Once a week.
You would lie.
No, I have it once a week.
I smelled the chicken on your breath when I came up here.
I wish I had some chicken today. What I need is a steak.
All right. And then Romel says, prosecutor. What do you mean by prosecutor? What's happening to you? Dwight says, Democrats are not loyal because of the New Deal and the desegregation, military, civil rights movement, and LBJ. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, and a lot of people don't understand. They think we became Democrats under Martin Luther King when he was around. We became that
FDR.
because of the New Deal. FDR wasn't messing with black people either, but it was his wife was like, yo, we need to reach out to black people. Mm-hmm. And so when they under the New Deal, we were able to benefit from the social programs too. And so that's how we started to make the switch. Like, okay, because everybody was helping us starve. I mean, after the Great Depression.
Yeah, those programs were not for us.
Yeah, so let's throw the black people a bone too, and that's kind of how we became that.
Yeah, and you got to remember that's when the news reels were coming out, and people are actually videotaping or videoing what was going on. It doesn't look good when you kind of say that you're the arsenal of democracy and you have this great system, and you've got a people within that system that you're just starving to death and killing.
Starving.
Yeah. Right.
So that's how we ended up that way. It was like. And it was all by design. It was like, yeah, we'll give the black people a bone and they'll come over to because they needed us. Because don't get it twisted. A lot of people think we couldn't vote. Yeah, we could vote per the 1800s.
You got to vote the right way.
Yeah, You got to jump over the hoop of fire, and you got to go pet the dog 5 times. And if you pet the dog 6 times, you got to go all the way back. And then you got to drink some water while jumping. I mean, so it was just all this nonsense in order for us to vote. So we could vote, but it was just... we didn't have voters.
Right. Yeah. And you got to remember in the South, the Democrats were the ones that were controlling the votes down there. And there's a big misnomer saying, the Democrats were just hard on black people. No, they were hard on you if you were voting for that Republican. If you're coming in there saying, yes, Mazza, Mr. Jones, I'm coming to vote for Huey P. Long. They'll let you vote.
Black people died because they went to cast a vote. And so that's where Martin Luther King came into play. He and the civil rights movements, made it to where we had voters' rights and that we would not force intimidation, have to take all these tests and stuff.
Yeah, in the 1950s and 60s, they said that 60% of black people did not vote at all because of the intimidation factor and stuff.
We was going to die.
Right. So when the civil rights movement came in, their main job, especially in 1963, was to register people to vote.
Right.
And that's what started a lot of the
But there were some
problems.
people who's like, I ain't scared, I'm voting. Right. So those are the people they were trying to impress upon. And then Dwight says, get over Willie Jack and a hot mixed breed woman. I love it.
Oh, man. Like I said, look, Willie is a G. I ain't got no shame in his game.
He's like a bona fide pimp. Like, this dude had girlfriends while he was married, and everybody
and
knew
Kamala was one of them.
And she was one of them. Okay,
broke
now
up,
you happy? We got
broke up his 30-something years marriage.
Hey, she got what she wanted.
Oh,
she
yeah,
could
absolutely.
be your president because of that.
And what was that? Wait, and what was that she told Willie in the article?
Yeah, he said, I helped a lot of people get to where they needed to go, but none of them except for her reminded me that if I so much as jaywalked, she would make sure I was arrested.
So that must have been a bad breakup.
I mean, I thought that was true, but that was a quote from him. That's what he said. And so Dwight says, making out, not jacking. Who cares about a marriage and who... it is the policy. Well, I mean,
true, but it also.
Maybe are you married, Dwight?
Yeah, but you also got to look at the person's it's all encompassing. We at least the way I can speak for myself. That's the way I look at it. Right. I look at how you deal with your home issues, and because how can you talk to me about morality and you're not moral yourself?
I mean, damn, Hillary wasn't getting her thing service under the desk. But when she was running, people brought it up about her husband and Monica Lewinsky, and it wasn't even her. Like, she was the victim.
Right. Yeah. It's very sad.
And then he says, Dwight, America are in denial of the black experience. That's why it is white liberals love Obama and Kamala. Well, yeah, because ultimately they're going to benefit from their presidency. It's not going to be us. It's going to be them.
Again, Obama's cabinet was full of Wall Street bankers.
Right.
That made sure they got their money and
and that's who benefited. Yeah, and so you also say, listen, all these issues are history. You are successful and great for the future. That is sad about your grandfather because of the housing is better. Well, his grandfather is there by choice.
Yeah, he's there by choice. I mean, he's a World War II
veteran, and he has money. He's just like, if it ain't broke, why
exactly. And it ain't, and it's been upgraded. Just that, the thing is,
he's like, this is all I know. How many kids was made in that house?
12 children.
12 kids.
Live births.
Live births was made in that house. And so he's like,
Life is
This is
good, and he's
home.
right by the train track. I mean, he's living good. I mean,
Right. So, yeah, he's there by choice.
and he's the last one of that neighborhood because he
Plus,
might.
Donovan's a millionaire. He could just
Yeah.
go buy his grandfather a new house
Yeah,
right
yeah.
over
Well,
there.
well, my grandfather's 96 years old or something like that. He's
Yeah,
up
so-
there, and the funny thing is, he doesn't have any friends. He's outlived all his friends,
Ain't
so
that
he's
something?
chilling. He's chilling.
One thing I say about Donovan, too, is wherever he goes all over the world, he makes sure he sends his grandfather a postcard.
A postcard,
Yeah.
a coffee mug, something.
And then Al, let me say, make sure. And then Ali says, Kamala told me to tell your audience and the world if a person's birthday is in November, their mama got screwed for her tax money this year. Really? Stupid. Dwight says, baked chicken is boring. Bake it over green. See, now you're making me hungry. Mm-hmm. Green peppers, onions, and garlic. Is
And some lemon
Donovan's
pepper.
weight over 200 pounds?
No, nowhere near. I'm
Eating
half of
chicken
that.
every week, a gym and workout. No,
I'm half of that.
He's a little bit more than half.
Yeah,
of
I'm
that.
160.
He's 160. He's tall, but he's slender.
Mm-hmm.
He eats fairly decent.
I'm all right.
I see him eat a salad like once a week.
I ate it before you came over. With some chicken spread pieces.
Chicken crackling.
Yeah, crackling. Oh man.
Now says Winco. Now we being silly. Winco was the best. Speaking of chicken, hey Donovan, what was the name of the chicken restaurant JJ worked at on Good Times?
Oh man.
James answers Chicken Delight.
I can't remember, but I remember when that company went under, he went to the beef. He had the beef cow hat. He had changed. I can't remember.
Dwight. He says 1955 plus was the struggle. Civil
Yes.
rights movement is the history. Eyes on the prize. Yeah, I mean, civil rights movement is the history. Yeah, it's history. History.
Yeah,
But
history.
I'm not trying to be funny, but what strides have we made since then? As a collective, black people, what have we done after that?
We're looping on that NyQuil.
We're on the NyQuil. Yeah,
And,
some of us
and,
are extra
and the
shrimp.
funny thing is that you say about that eye on the prize, that they're saying that that's a CIA
term
produced documentary because they're saying that there's have you noticed you never see any documentary on the civil rights movement where the brutal stuff actually happened?
Right.
They never show that. And
Right.
It's just funny how we see the eye on the prize and we think, oh yeah, look at all these things that we're doing.
Yeah,
and it's
the
really
the gloriousness of it.
all the strides we did,
Right.
and we were just telling these white
Like,
people
no,
what's up, and,
right.
and that wasn't the case at all.
And Derek says, I only engage in political discussions with people who vote. Yeah, I mean,
I vote.
yeah, because you hear a lot of people say, well, I don't vote, but you doing the most complaining, though.
Yes.
I mean, to me, voting is subjective. I think
Well,
if you vote smartly,
Yes.
it
Well,
matters.
well, we know on a national level, your vote doesn't matter because if it did, Bush wouldn't have been president.
But it would matter if black people got together and said, hey.
As a block.
Because Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that. And he says, like, if we're going to have, black people need to get together. You guys don't know who Dr. Claude Anderson is. Please follow his stuff on YouTube.
He's
And just Google it. He's an awesome.
He's in there. Yep.
Just awesome in regards to giving black people a blueprint. But he says we need to hold these politicians accountable contractually. All right? Us black people, as whatever our party is, the black party, we're going to send you to Washington or anywhere, this is what we're asking for.
There's an old saying by President Harry Truman. He says, if you go into public service and you become a millionaire, there's your crook.
Right. There you go. Right. Say no more.
Here it is.
Right. So no, I agree. I mean, especially if you're going to complain and you don't vote, it's like, I really can't entertain you. And then Dwight says, no, I love marriage and it is personal. Some people are sleazy.
Yeah, very, very. Yeah. Well, we see what we got right now.
Yeah, but you talking about Trump? Don't talk about Trump like that. Mm-hmm. And then you also say, remember, 20% of the electorate. We are. Yeah. But we waste it. We waste the vote by just going. We're like the zombies. Okay, over here.
Well,
how about over here?
Well, how about this, where the black women are saying we make the difference, and that's probably true because a lot of us men are being incarcerated or killed. But they go with the soundbite. We're with Hillary. Look at how many black women went and gave their vote to Hillary, regardless of the facts.
I'm sorry, Donovan and I.
Yes,
we had an opportunity to go to Sacramento with the NAACP. We're checking some things out. This is a couple years back. They were lobbying the assemblymen and all this other stuff. And this is when Hillary and Trump were campaigning. And somebody said, well, we need to vote for Bernie. And they said, nah, we ain't voting for Bernie. We're with her. And we like,
Golly.
somebody about to die up in here talking about they not with her.
Exactly. And then speaking of Bernie, they saying his indications is he will be declaring his run for the presidency probably this week,
Let's
if
see
not
if there were
sooner.
people to get it right this time.
Right.
And then you say, I salute your grandfather. White is saying, I salute your grandfather. You are blessed. He has you.
Oh,
absolutely. And then Al says, baby, your voice is the state of California's natural resource. I heard something else was, but my voice. Jokey joke. And Dwight says, he is great. Keep eating fried chicken. No, he ain't going to keep eating fried chicken. Him or Al. They need to eat it like once a week. Al is... And I don't know who between the both of y'all who's the more of the fried chicken connoisseur. You or he? He might got you beat.
Yeah, he's down in Houston.
Yeah, because they got the fried chicken shack, fried chicken shack part 2.
Mm-hmm. And then Al's a little taller than me, so he have that leanness as well, more so.
Yeah, don't get it twisted because you are slender that you are healthy and you just eat all the fried chicken you want. That's not how it works. Okay. And let's see. Dwight, you also say You all are a revelation of the success of the movement. Must continue to fight. Yeah, I'm listening.
That's what we do.
I would never ever begrudge the civil rights movement of what it is. I you know what? Those people had heart to do what they did. All I'm saying is we dropped the ball. They took us to that point and we have not done anything else with it since.
Well, that's because they won't let us. The baby boomers are the most selfish generation ever.
From my cold dead hands.
Dead hands will I leave this job. That's why us, their children, we can't find work. And because they took that ladder and they pulled it up. And that's why they're raising our children.
Right.
Because we don't have the same opportunities that they've swiped up.
Right. And so Alice says, my cousin just posted in Facebook expecting twins. So I commented, finally 2 kids by the same man. She blocked me.
Yikes.
Dwight says, Hillary Clinton is telling friends she is leaving 2020, door open for the run. Hillary is putting that out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She wants to be president.
Well, because now she's understood that she was duped to some degree. And, everybody's, if Hillary was, it wasn't cheating going on, she'd be our president and
but
all of that.
But she got the Democratic nomination through cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's just...
Well, a cheat don't want to be cheated.
Okay, right,
you
that's
can't
true.
cheat me.
Okay.
And then, Alex says, I missed one of your comments. Let's see. What did I miss?
Yeah. I can't wait till we move the show to Houston. Al, I forgot to tell you, I'll be coming with Demetra down to Houston.
I didn't miss one of your comments. I got it. I read all of your comments. I'm looking. Nope, didn't miss not one of them. And hey, Zuni says she loves fried chicken. She has arrows going for her. She loves fried chicken. I like it too. I just don't eat it. And Dwight says, look at Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. It does not work. White people make the winner. People are mad at Starbucks Howard Schultz for considering running as an independent. Didn't know that.
Wow, I'm going to have to do some
Are
research
you
on that.
independent? Are you voting for him?
No, I'm not going to vote for him, but let me do my homework.
Do your homework.
Let me do my homework.
And the charges that California and their big prize of 55 electoral votes to the general election winner. It's effed up because that Pelosi, Walters, Feinstein, and Harris is from California. Yeah. Yeah, well, like we know Pennsylvania and all those Ohio, and then once they announce, they call it for a candidate. It's like, okay, wow. But California, since it's one of the last to report, is like, okay, now you really won, But I guess it didn't matter.
Yeah, it takes you over the hump completely.
Yeah, all those people are from California. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Waters, Feinstein, and Harris.
Every last one of them.
Last one of them.
And we vote for them without looking at our neighborhoods.
Okay, I was going to say something. I don't want to be mean because I don't like to engage in ageism, but they're kind of up there.
They're up there. They're in there. Like I said, baby boomers.
Yeah,
they
up
won't
there.
give
Except
up.
for Kamala, she's not up there, but
yeah, she's about 3 years older than us.
Feinstein is how old? In her 80s?
Late 80s. Yeah, she's in her late 80s. From my cold dead hands will I give up this seat.
Don't you want to go on vacation, drink your fruity drink somewhere on the beach?
No, she had to secure. She had
sunscreen.
No, she had to secure that $3 billion tax paid rail system that will never.
I want to get on it before I die.
Yes, it'll never be built.
The White says, we are not dropping the ball. All those blacks got elected to Congress. I agree. Blacks should educate their own children. Africa and African American studies. What what is this about Houston?
We're going to be moving the show to Houston because Al has
'cause you
insisting.
Oh,
Trying to look. I want you guys to do this. Watch What's Love Got to Do at the end of the thing when Ike got beat up and he went to go see Tina at her show. That's me and Demetra. She thinks she's gonna go get away. No. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. I come to see the show just like everybody else.
Right, yeah. Except you trying to kill me. You know, I don't want to die on the stage. Okay, I'll be like Tina. I'm walking out there,
Yes.
whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, and Ali says about the Mexican girl. I swear I did not see it. Can you copy and paste it again? It says ageism is honest. Move on. Yeah, and that's why I said I'm not trying to be mean and say, because people are a certain age that can't do things, but it's like at some point in time you got to move over and let some fresh ideas and some young blood and some people come in and say, hey, I mean, like a lot of those people like Dianne Feinstein and all them, social media wasn't even a thing.
Right, but look at Dianne Feinstein. Look at her voting record. She's a Democrat. She's a Republican posing as a Democrat.
Right, but I'm saying they've just been in there so long they can't pump new ideas in there. They're going to always
and you got to beat them over the head to change their stance. All of a sudden, Dianne Feinstein started supporting gay marriage within the last 4 years.
Yeah, she was against it.
Yeah, against it. I mean, it's just like it's like pulling teeth,
right,
to get them to change. Their thing. And, and she does believe in calling people niggas. So, just remember that.
And Daryl, he says, I went to Lamert Park and heard Hillary speak. She had 4 of the slain men by police mothers. Wait, hold on. Daryl.
The mothers of the movement?
Don't get Al started. Don't get Donovan started with the mothers of the movement. Please.
Lord.
Please don't get him started with the mothers. You said, I still can't forget her comment on young black men as super predators.
Yeah, super predator.
Please don't get this man started. Because he's like, how dare them?
That's why we got to do our homework. We have to do our homework. One of the mothers put out a rap album.
Oh, was it Trayvon?
Yeah, Trayvon Martin.
Rap album.
It's just crazy the things that we. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, he's with you on that. I am too. It's like. Because we're with her, we just get to negate that she did call black boys super predators and they need to be made to heal, and which she even apologized
and
for.
her husband mass incarcerated all those black people in the 90s.
Her husband's administration, to which, Hillary was not like an injured spouse, that's like a tax term, or a lame duck in the marriage. She was very instrumental.
Yes, as a first lady, she went
around
around stomping and telling them, we're going to be tough on crime. We're going to put a stop to this.
So that was all done, under her administration. And a lot of the things that were set in motion as far as the incarceration of black men, and so now you have the mothers of the movement standing up there with her. Why are you with her? Like most of your kids are gone.
Because of her policies, her husband's policies.
So why are you with her?
That's how misinformed we are about candidates that they tell us to vote for.
And like I see Roland Martin, he's, I can't stand Negroes as always just against people. We need to give Kamala a chance. It's like, why? Because we saw you Watusiing, shaking your booty with Hillary too.
Right, exactly.
You was with her too. It's like, but why are you? Roland Martin is deemed to be a very smart man. But he does a lot of shucking and jiving, dancing. Like, come on, you, because he's good at putting people in check with their facts. It's like, well, how come you missed the facts about your girl Hillary, and now you're mad because people are taking Kamala to task as we should be?
And he only brings certain people on his show that will not refute any information that goes against the narrative that he was given.
Well, I saw one show where he brought Tamika Mowry on there, the black woman of the women's movement, and she ate his lunch. She was scared. He was like, oh.
Yeah, commercial break.
Yeah, he was not going to go there with her, and she was eloquent in her response. Yeah. It was awesome. How much time we got? 5 minutes. Okay, and so let's see. You said we are not. The wife says we are not watching that horrible movie. Great performance, but I love Tina. What's love got to do with it? Donovan always has it on for some reason when I come over here. Haven't figured out why, but I think I'm getting the picture.
Yeah, you ain't leaving me.
Right. Especially that part when he shows up in the dressing room.
Right.
Yeah. Is that a coincidence? And then you also say that is not true. Dianne Feinstein was best friend with Harvey Milk.
Yes, a homosexual, which is fine. We're talking about black people.
Well, he's talking about in rebuttal to you saying that she was not for homosexual gay marriage up until a couple of years ago.
Right? No, but no, that is true. She was against gay marriage. I mean, they had to drag her to the left to go to that side. That's factual.
For those of you guys who don't know, Harvey Milk was a politician in San Francisco that was gunned down.
Yeah.
Because he was homosexual, but he was,
progressive. He was very progressive. Very progressive first time.
For those times, it's like,
early 80s, yeah.
Yeah, it's going a little bit too progressive. And then Charles says Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
AOC
is the future. She is only 29 years old. Well, we need to do our research about her as well.
Right.
She, one thing I would say about her.
She challenges the establishment.
She does, but she is for her people. Who's her people?
The Puerto Rican Hispanic.
And isn't she bisexual too?
Is she? That's a plus. Yeah. that's a plus.
I mean, there's no hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it. It ain't a plus for me.
Yeah,
but
I don't worry about that, but I'm just saying she's very outspoken and I don't. Is there a voting age for the vice president by Constitution?
Voting age, or to run?
To run as a vice president.
Isn't it 35 the same?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think it's the same thing. But I'll look into it. But if they can get her on the ticket as a vice president, that would sway a lot of votes in the millennial.
Kamala and AOC.
Oh no, AOC will never.
I'm just kidding.
Will never get.
And Al says mothers on the movement. On today, me and my mom had another heated argument. Lord have mercy. Another heated argument, Mom. Al, why did the word bastard cross my mind? Me. Why shouldn't it? Why shouldn't it? Don't you think words like that cross my mind? Mom, yeah. But no matter where I ever said, whatever I said to you, you never called me a B. Me, I don't mean it never crossed my mind. I'm going to call your mom when I get off.
Yes.
And then the wife says, I love Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, true beauty.
Yes. I mean, the girl, it's funny how that generation skipped over us completely. See what I'm saying? The baby boomers just dogged us.
Because we was too busy doing other stuff.
Well, they let us do other stuff. Or we let them carry our load. Right. Depending on what kind of parents you have.
Our generation is still in the club with our kids. Not me, but Donovan. I saw him, put on his shirt.
Wait. But at the Metro Revival, who was on the dance floor most of the night?
Me. Hey.
Couldn't keep her to sit down.
I was there. I was on the floor all night long.
Yes, reliving those good old days.
Right. Woo. Some of that stuff I didn't relive, though, because I got a band now. And then he says, forget it. I don't know how to copy and paste. Good Lord. He mad about that joke. I didn't see it. It didn't come my way. And the wife says, Kamala Harris is off the hook. Just watch her. It is going to be Sherrod Brown and Cory Booker. Tamika Mallory is number one. Yes, I like Tamika.
I don't think Cory Booker is going to make it out of the primary.
I don't think so. Is he even running?
He's exploratory, but you got to remember, Cory Booker voted down the pharmaceutical thing. That's important.
The drugs cheaper for people.
Because he gets his money from the pharmaceutical companies.
If I vote for drugs to be cheaper, imported cheaper, that means I vote for my bank account to get smaller.
Right, and your health.
Right, your health is not more important than my money.
Right, but people, Cory Booker, they don't know. Look at his record.
Find those things out about him. Why do you think Cory Booker? Corey's probably using Kamala as a litmus test.
Yeah, litmus test. Yeah, I'm gonna lay low.
Let me see what they gonna do to her. Because some things about me, I don't want people to know.
Exactly.
So how much time?
Got about a minute and a half.
All right. So for those of you guys on the podcast, we gonna get out of here, and I will see you. I will be here Super Bowl, y'all. I'm gonna be here Super Bowl Sunday. I know a lot of you guys might not be, but I will be here. Even if it's one person in Donovan, we're
gonna be here.
It's gonna be slow, but we're gonna be here. And then let's see. Al says, watch the movie White Boy Rick. Okay. And the wife says, okay. And then Charles says, Ocasio-Cortez says she got 0 F's about what the corporate Democrat think about her. We all are people of color. You know what? We should pray protection over her. Because we know people like that come up missing, or God forbid, Harvey milked. Or or something like that.
When you make too much of a wave, because Nancy Pelosi will put the team on you, put that sergeant arms on your ass.
She got too much to say. You don't need her being a messiah. And then so let's see. And then the wife says homosexuality marriage is progressive policy. jumped over reparations for blacks.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, she is not bisexual. The lady in Arizona with the win, John McCain, she was.
Oh, yeah,
I know
that's
she
right.
is, but I thought she was as well.
Yeah, she used to be an Air Force pilot, I think.
Yeah,
or
I
something
know.
like that.
I know the one you're talking about, but I thought she was as well. I could be wrong. And then Dwight says, "You all grew up with Barack and Michelle Obama, R. Kelly."